If you have any good ideas for improving the content, I'd love to read them in the comments. Love. What show stayed good from start to finish? Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Every last one is a banger. Blackadder. Madam Life Without You is like a broken pencil. Pointless Blackadder. A man may fight for many things: his country, his principles, his friends, the glistening tear on the cheek of a golden child. But personally, I'd mud wrestle my own mother for a ton of cash, an amusing clock and a stack of French porn. Better Off Ted. Amazingly funny, poorly marketed and pushed to the fringes. It's the show I wish would have kept going, even more than Gasp Firefly. Diversity. Good for us. Avatar: The Last Airbender. The nadir of this show was Season 1 Episode 11, and they made fun of it better than we ever could. Also, the recap episode may be the best episode in the entire series. WTH guys. It's a recap episode. You're supposed to be lazy. Use lots of flashbacks. Maybe make it a musical for no particular reason. Instead, we get the characters watching an in-universe parody of themselves, which is somehow a fourth-wall-breaking joke, emphasizes everyone's character arcs, highlights their current strengths and weaknesses, expands the world building, humanizes the enemy, is beautifully animated, and sets the stage for the finale. Pun intended, obviously. It's like they heard someone say good recaps are impossible and they said, oh yeah, watch this. That kid telling Zuko his cosplay was good but that the scar was on the wrong side lol. So fun fact, Zuko's question about Jet was not only a joke about cartoon censorship, but also a legitimate question. He befriended Jet on the boat and then didn't hear from him again after the fight. The play is actually how he found out about it. Fleabag. 2 absolutely perfect seasons. I look like a pencil. Hot priest looking at the camera is a top 10 television moment of all time. I was so terrified the first time I watched that scene. I mean, what the hell, man? It's perfect. I love that show so much. Band of Brothers. The episode on Bastogne gives me the chills each time I watch it. Were you a hero in the war, Grandpa? No, but I was in the company of heroes. Loved all of Peep show. Very Moorish. Galavant, the fact that it got cancelled was a tragedy. I come across so few people who know about Galavant, so glad to see it mentioned here. I super believe in you, Tad Cooper. I dislike musicals and only watched it on a whim. By the end I was not only blown away by how great it was, but I was completely blown away that it got cancelled and never picked up anywhere. It was perfect, could not be improved upon. 6 Feet Under. In fact, the last episode was, hands down, the best last episode of any series I've ever seen and will probably ever see. Oh my god, I cried so hard during the last episode. Definitely the best last episode of any series. Derry Girls. So damn funny. The nun headmistress is genius. Derry Girls is fucking hysterical. I was so bummed we only got 3 seasons. I've also never had a series finale of a show make me cry, but damn, the last 5 minutes had me in tears. I hope Lisa McGee writes another comedy. She did a brilliant job with Derry Girls. The Inbetweeners, UK. My dad's not a benda. Now listen you kids, that's a serious accusation. Just because Neil's dad is gay doesn't make him a pedo. Oh, I'm not gay. It's alright Kevin, I've got this. Malcom in the Middle. I started watching that show again, and it's as funny now as it was when it first aired. The Komodo 3000 still kills me every time. The box says 2 days. Fucking love the show, have watched it 2 or 3 times and currently rewatching it. This scene is hands down the best. If I'm trying to get someone to watch the show, this is the scene. Also I'll changing the light bulb in the kitchen scene. The show definitely holds up and I don't think will ever die. Most average Joe Americans can relate to this show in some capacity. Also note that I'm 31 years old. I've realized Lois is the GOAT. As a kid you hate Lois. As an adult you are amazed she is as patient with the boys as she is. This is one of those shows that I caught on TV here and there as a teenager when it first came out, but I never really cared about it. I've been binging it with my GF and nephew lately and we can't stop watching it. Really missed out back in the day. The Reese Dog Pack episode is probably my favorite moment of television. Hal's Speedwalking episode 2. Him in that suit and helmet is forever imprinted into my brain. Hal's roller skating episode was so glorious. I still think about it. I've been watching it recently and I'm struck by how grimy it is. A lot of shows purport to show people on low salaries, but that show really commits. Sweat, dirt, bugs, the lot. The locations, like shops, arcades and gyms, do not look glamorous. They are used, garish and claustrophobic. A lot of shows, especially American ones, function as adverts and want to make the items and places the characters go look enticing. There are people on the production company payroll who oversee this process and make sure that companies will keep paying big money to get their stuff put in there. Someone who made Malcom in the Middle fought tooth and nail to make sure that no sane marketing strategist wanted their product anywhere near the Wilkersons. Gravity Falls. Even the worst episode, the Cupid one, had wonderful redeeming qualities. IMT kids. That entire sequence with the balloon is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in a kid's show. It's punishment for our terrible taste in everything. Mommy, is the floating head going to eat us? Yes, Charlie, yes he will. I eat kids? But we're kids. It's heaven's punishment for our horrible taste in everything. This episode still has some of the funniest gags in the series, even if I prefer other episodes like the Gobblewonker lol. Chernobyl. One-season shows are usually amazing. Mindhunter. It sucks that there won't be a third season. Sad we never saw more from BTK. Seemed like they were gearing towards a big ending with him. The point, as far as I can tell, is to show them developing and successfully employing serial killer profiles against the backdrop of BTK, who doesn't match the profile. I.e., the point isn't to catch him but to use him as a foil showing the incompleteness of what they're building. Thus, the narrative can end properly in a future season, but BTK remains out there nonetheless. IT Crowd. You know what's the funny part about it? A lot of people unironically learned it by heart, so, in a way, it's actually a pretty easy to remember number. The bomb robot just crashed. Have you tried switching it off and on again? Just doing it. What operating system are you using? Vista. We're going to die. Twilight Zone. The Wire. I'll Die on the Season 2 is amazing hill. Yeah. In the first scene of episode 1, Snot Boogie's friend explicitly states David Simon's ambitions with the words, "This is America." Union stevedores struggling to make a decent living, like their fathers did, is a quintessentially American story and one that needed to be told for the audience to really understand the city of Baltimore. We used to build shit in this country, now we just stick our hand in the next guy's pocket. Next to the bunk, Sabatka is my favorite character. He's trying so hard to do right by his people. I'll join you. Frank Sabatka was an awesome character, hugely flawed doing all the wrong things for a good reason. He was a great character, not the best dad though. I might be biased though. Better Call Saul. I literally just finished Breaking Bad. I'm excited to start Better Call Saul. MASH. The show had many significant cast changes and additions, and fluctuated in tone over time as well as within seasons. Nevertheless, it remained a high-quality, very watchable show. Not easy and rare, loved it until the end. Hard disagree. MASH got noticeably better season after season. Cowboy Bebop. Samurai Champloo also qualifies, but Bebop is a cut above. Black Sails, amazing show that sticks the landing. Super underrated, such an incredible show. Always my go-to recommendation. It's also funny to me that it wasn't very popular given that Michael Bay was a producer. It's also funny to me that it turned out so good, given that Michael Bay was a producer. Since I have not seen it mentioned, Justified. We dug coal together. The Americans. It's absolutely criminal how underrated The Americans is. It does start off slow, but the payoff is so worth it. Couldn't take my eyes off Kerry Russell and Matthew Rhys. I even got my dad, who's not usually into Cold War stuff, to watch the show with me and he loved it. Freaks and Geeks. Deadwood. God rest the souls of that poor family. And Pussy's half price next 15 minutes. Those that doubt me, suck cock by choice. Fraggle Rock. Pepper Jack loves Fraggle Rock. Sopranos. The guy was an interior decorator. His house looked like shit. Futurama. Stupid anti-pimping laws. Bender honey we love you. Shut up baby I know it. Edit, fucked up the second quote. Fleabag. I wish I could watch it for the first time again. When the priest noticed her breaking the fourth wall, I lost my mind. Everything with the priest was pure gold. The picture of Jesus falling when she said she didn't believe in God had me in stitches. Breaking Bad. I did it for me. I liked it. I was good at it. And I was alive. Mob Psycho. I did not expect MP100 to be as good as it was. I enjoyed just about every character and all 3 seasons were equally very well done. Father Ted. Not a bad episode in the lot. I hear you're a racist now, Father. Should we be racist too? The Last Kingdom. I started it begrudgingly because I couldn't find anything else to watch. By the last episode one would have followed Uhtred anywhere. Uhtred son of Uhtred. Dark. It got so complicated though. I loved it, have to do a rewatch soon. I am pretty salty that they won't make another season of 1899. $18.99 cancellation ruined 2023 for me. Thank you for watching. In the comments below the video you can tell us which show you liked from start to finish.